let's get started. Um, history of UFOs. I'm going to do this pretty quick because it's kind of old news. But when did we?
Well, that's what history is, right? Old news.
It is. It's agreed upon lies. But anyway, so where's the first mention of UFOs in history? Was it in Ezekiel in the Bible? Because that book is all full of UFOs.
Well, there's one part of Ezekiel where Ezekiel sees the throne of God, and there's this rotating disc and lights and sparkling, sparkling, things. And for Ezekiel, for Ezekiel, he was just looking at the throne of God, right? I mean, so if you're religious, it's not an alien. Well, unless you consider God an alien, he would be, right? Because he's extraterrestrial, he's from heaven. So God would be the ultimate UFO, right? But I think other people have read it and interpreted it as not as God, but as a UFO landing in Ezekiel, misinterpreted it as God. So there you go. I don't know. I think it was neither. I think he was hallucinating, but it doesn't matter. But that certainly is an indication.
Yeah, and the other one that goes way back, I guess, is was it the Mayans? They had a whole thing about the aliens coming down and that's giving us intelligent life. But those UFOs in history back then were pretty sporadic. Now, since the advent of nuclear weapons, they've just been proliferated. There's been so many UFO stories, and the one that I remember as a kid was Project Blue Book. And it was a book. I remember I had it and it was like bullshit. But Lisa, do you know about Project Blue Book?
Yes.
When was that one?
It was established by the Air Force to investigate. Let me find my.
That's all right. I mean, it was in the 70s for sure. And
no, it was actually before that. It began in 1952 and ended in 1969.
Yeah.
And it had two predecessors. As a matter of fact, there was a Project Grudge and a Project Sign.
Lisa, you're breaking up, so I don't know if that's going to be recorded very well. But suffice it to say, you were saying that the Project Blue Book started in the 1950s and it continued for a while.
Yeah, and what it was the price of used spaceships to make sure you can get a
like the Kelly Blue Book. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Because my theory is that aliens sort of got marooned on planet Earth, and they can't get off, and so they're selling their spaceship on Blue Book, trying to get enough money to survive in order to get their Costco card. That's
they're here to contact us about our extended warranty on our car.
Extended warranty on their spaceship. That's what happened. They spent all their resources in their spaceship just getting here, and now their warranty is expired and they can't get off.
Well, no, they came over here thinking that there were going to be dinosaurs, and they were going to use the dinosaurs for beasts of burden. But by the time they got here, the dinosaurs were dead and only humans.
Yeah, and we don't make good beasts of burden. They go, we don't even make good food.
Unless the aliens are really small.
Unless they're really small. Well, there's no...
I think it's like Men in Black, where we got the size thing wrong. It could be a whole civilization in the eye of a little pin. All right. So back to the history of UFOs real quick. We have Project Blue Book, and there's just countless. There's hundreds.
No, but we have to talk about the Egyptians and the soccer player that shows up on the Saki goalkeeper that shows up on one of the Egyptians' walls.
Oh, let's hear about that.
No, it's not. People say he looks like he's in a spacesuit, right? And so there's an indication that there was somebody came down in a spacesuit and they painted him on the Egyptian wall. So there is that. It was either an ancient alien or it was an ancient soccer player.
Well, the Egyptians, if anyone had an alien encounter, it was probably the Egyptians.
Yeah. But the only problem with that is the Egyptians actually have a written language that we can read. Right? And you just think, and they were not shy about writing stuff on the walls of their tombs. And they never, except for that one drawing, they never bring it up. The Mayans had a written language too, but unfortunately the Catholics destroyed all their books because they thought they were demonic, and so we don't have too much information from them. So yeah, and there was some stuff in the Middle Ages where there was some flashing lights over Nuremberg or somewhere, but they think that was like a lightning storm, and cloud to cloud lightning. But so that could be explained. Most phenomena can be explained. But,
right. It's generally like one of those five things. It's like geese, it's clouds, it's instrumentation, or it's a weather balloon. And I wanted to combine them all together. It's a goose in a weather balloon with a mirror going through clouds.
Smoking a joint.
All right.
Yeah.
So
I mean, and besides seeing space, I mean, people really do see spaceships, right? It's like, Lisa maybe. But I mean, there's also even more people who have had versions of the Virgin Mary, right? And so was she an alien? I mean, not just one or two people, but like thousands of people at the same time have seen Virgin Mary. And
I saw Virgin Mary on a piece of toast.
Yeah,
I did.
I haven't. No, yeah, but this is actually, I mean, this was more than just a piece of toast. They've actually seen her. So, how do you explain that? I mean, maybe she was an alien too. I mean, that could be, right? Maybe she was. I mean, because I think she started floating down. So would she be a flying object?
Right. That's why I wanted to talk about, jumping ahead a little bit, those 5 states of consciousness. That we don't understand what consciousness is. We can't define something, and yet things happen and we don't freak out about it. General anesthesia, dreams, psychedelic drugs, meditation, hypnotism,
mass hysteria.
Yeah. Mass hysteria, the dancing plague. These are changes of consciousness that we clearly don't understand. And there's some weird commonalities. When people take DMT, they often see the same weird little alien entities.